Hi guys and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about Zk Rollups and the highly anticipated announcement by Polygon. And obviously I will also share what is my thought and the possibility of an airdrop. And that's something that I'm quite sure that all of you will love. Just before to start guys, let me say that this channel is about educational content and nothing has to be intended as financial advice. If you want to invest in anything, that's great, but always your research before. And guys, as I was announcing you just the other day, we have gone from DeFi Daily to DeFi Talks, and as you will find from the description below, there are many new links that you can use in order to access our different medias. Don't miss this opportunity because we are publishing every day on different channels, and that's something that I'm sure can help you to stay on track with what is going on into this industry. Plus guys, if you enjoy this content, remember guys to leave us a big thumbs up and drop a comment. That's just a small effort for you, but really means a lot to us. Okay guys, so let's start immediately. I want to start with this image. Did you remember when we were talking about this highly anticipated announcement by Polygon, what they will be releasing and so on? Yes, what they were just anticipating was the release of the ZkEVM. The reason why it's called ZkEVM is because from one side it is using Zk Rollups. So it is a layer 2 on Ethereum that is using zero knowledge as the technology in order to approve the transaction, or better, this is the way to secure the transaction. I will explain to you in a moment what does it mean. Plus EVM because it is fully EVM compatible. So it means that the different applications, so DeFi applications that are working right now on Ethereum, they can move easily into the ZkEVM new layer 2. And that's something that is really important because obviously if you are a protocol and you need to make a different kind of adjustment in order just to deploy your application on a specific layer 2, it is something that will stop you to do it. If it is so easy, that's much better. Just before starting to dig inside the topic, I want to say two things. First of all, I want to start explaining to you what is the main difference between a sidechain and a layer 2, because probably it's something that many of you have been starting to wonder. Polygon is already a sidechain that is working on Ethereum. What is the reason why they need a layer 2 on top of the sidechain? So first of all, in the moment when we are talking a sidechain, we are talking a blockchain that is just connected to another blockchain. In this case, we are having the main chain, as you can see from the image, that is Ethereum, and the sidechain that is a Polygon. But it is a full blockchain with its own security, with its own functionalities and so on. It is just using Ethereum as a support. In the moment when we are talking about a layer 2, we are not anymore talking about a full blockchain, but we are talking just about a scalable solution, something that is increasing the ability of the blockchain, the Ethereum blockchain, to process more transactions that fully relies on the main blockchain for the security point of view. So it means that the security still remains the same of Ethereum. It is like just saying, for example, if you want to buy an ice cream, you don't need for real just having some kind of official bureaucracy that is validating your operators. You don't need an official saying, yes, the money that he is giving to you are real money and you can accept it. Obviously, it will be too much just to buy an ice cream that is just a couple of dollars. And the concept is the same. For many transactions, you don't need the security, you don't need the full process that Ethereum is offering you. Ethereum is something that is offering the top-notch security, the top-notch way to process transactions. But many times we are just needing something that is smoother, something that is much faster, and something that you can use without having to worry about fees, about a long time to approve the single transaction. And that's exactly how a layer 2 is working. Understood it? What is the main difference between an optimistic rollup and a ZK system? ZK means zero knowledge. An optimistic rollup, as the word is saying, and for example, in the moment when we are talking about optimistic rollup, we are talking about optimism, we are talking about Arbitrum and so on. All of these layer 2 are rely on a technology that is like trusting that transactions that are processed into the layer 2 are correct. So it is just in the moment when they are going back into the main chain, and that's also the reason why it takes 2 weeks to go from the layer 2 to the main chain, that is Ethereum. And the reason is because it takes a certain kind of amount of time for the whole system to verify, to be sure that the transactions that the optimistic rollup is saying that are real and correct will be validated, for the simple reason that during this time, people, validators, can say, guys, pay attention that the transaction is wrong. And in that moment, the system will run a certain kind of process that will verify the transaction. In the moment when we are talking about zero knowledge, we are using a system that is through some kind of cryptographic process is ensuring that the transaction is correct directly into the layer 2. So through this kind of math, it is like an experimental math, something that is really advanced that personally I don't really know exactly how does it work, and at the end of the story it's not so important. We can't be the technician that is behind the blockchain. We just need to know what are the main differences and how does it work in general, what we are using. The main point about zero knowledge, it is called zero knowledge, is because it doesn't require from you any kind of knowledge to verify the transaction. So it is just a step forward to verify the transaction is real. So we can think about ZK systems as something that is even better, the optimistic rollup. So I think that the first question that you are thinking about in this moment is, so you are telling me that Arbitrum and Optimism are simply that just because we are having right now ZK Rollups? The answer is not yet that kind of answer, for the simple reason that I still believe that there is enough space for all of the different blockchains. I truly believe that at a certain point each blockchain will be specialized on a specific topic. I think that we will see much more what we are seeing right now, for example, into the Cosmos ecosystem, where each blockchain is specialized on a specific topic, on a specific kind of use case. Why? For the simple reason that even if we have this kind of a scalable system and we have a sharding, for example, we have Ethereum 2.0 and so on, if the blockchain will reach the mass adoption that we are hoping it will reach, in that moment, the amount of transactions that should be processed by each blockchain would be so high that it's not obviously enough a single blockchain and either a couple of side chains or layer 2. And that's the reason why we are needing more different solutions. From one side, just to start testing the technology, because still remember, guys, we are talking about an experimental technology, something that can even fail. And that's something that you should take in account the moment when you are joining, when you are using DeFi, any kind of them. We are still talking about an experimental technology. So it is possible that any kind of final result came out. It could be someone that is able to attack the bridge, as we have seen on Harmony. If you want to know more about this topic, please check the video that I recorded just a couple of days ago, and so on. So, as you can understand, there will be space for all of the different layer 2 and different solutions. Obviously, maybe some of them will die, some of them will reach a much greater traction, but it's still too early to understand how the full ecosystem will evolve. So, going back to the major announcement by Polygon, as you can see, they have just announced that ZkEVM is almost ready. They are testing it, and they are planning to release it into the mainnet for the early 23. Into this article, you will find more information about how does it work, and also some kind of technical information that maybe you can be curious to know about. I will leave also this link into the description below. What is peculiar is that this kind of technology is not something that is coming out of the blue just right now. It has been quite a long time, we can say 1 year and a half, something like that, that we were talking about ZK Rollups. But only right now, many, and that's something that is quite peculiar, because as you can see from this chart, this table, the solution by Polygon is not the only one that is going to this direction. There are many of them that are just working on the same topic, and that's quite normal, because in the moment when someone is seeing an opportunity, it's quite obvious that also someone else it is seeing the same opportunity that is working in order to try to solve at best this kind of problem. In this moment, we have other two protocols, other two blockchain layer 2 that are working on the same stuff, that are working on ZK knowledge, and they have just announced they are going into a testing phase and they will release quite soon their mainnet. And I'm talking about ZkSync, that is the one that has said that is the closest one to the main release. And as you can see, they have just released a roadmap that is saying 100 days to mainnet. Here you can find also the whole announcement with all the different details if you are curious to know more about it. I will leave also this link into the description below. But at the same time, we have also Scroll, that is another ZkEVM compatible. And also in this case, as you can see, they are working, and in this moment they are in phase 1, phase 2 with the testnet. So they are just testing. Also here you will find I will just follow them just to receive all the notification, because as you can see, many of these projects are just coming out and not always I'm remembering to follow them. So I will have just done it just right now. All of this to say, guys, remember, what Polygon has announced is obviously a breakthrough, because the zero knowledge technology, it is something, as you have seen through this image, that can for real help a certain kind of system, a certain kind of blockchain to scale. On the other side, we are still talking about something that is experimental with 3 main solutions that are working and will be released quite soon. It is still too early to say which of them will succeed. What we can see in this moment is obviously, in the moment when we are talking about Polygon, the main advantage of Polygon is that they already have a large user base. And that's something that is obviously an advantage for them. It means that they will succeed. It is still too early to say. And it will require much more time, much more testing, and much more seeing it in action to really understand which project is better, or maybe, as I was telling you before, there is enough space for all of them. So it's not necessary to see a winner and a loser. Another thing that is something that I'm sure that you will love is that with any probability all of these projects will start without a token. And what we can expect from all of them in the next future is to introduce a token. And with any probability, experience in the past is telling us that this kind of blockchains are distributing or airdropping the token to the people that have been using the protocol into the past. So for this reason, even if maybe you don't care so much about using any of these solutions, if you like airdrops, maybe, why not? You can try to test them and doing some kind of transactions just to never know. Maybe they can reward you with some airdrop in the moment when it will come. Obviously, also in this case, remember, it is a long process. As you know, it will take at least another couple of months before seeing a mainnet active for any kind of these ZK's solutions. But in that moment, after, let's say, 1 year, some other months about using it, probably in the moment when we will reach the next bull run, in that moment, it is the best moment for them to launch also their own token, and maybe we can take advantage from it. Guys, let me know what do you know and what do you think about Zk Rollups. Do you think that they are better than Optimistic Rollups? And what do you think and how do you think that the industry will evolve after this kind of announcement? Guys, thank you for following me, and remember, if you enjoy this content, remember to leave us a big thumbs up, drop a comment in the comment section below. Plus, guys, remember to check all the links about the different social medias that we are using, because we are publishing every day also on Twitter, Telegram, and we are working also for Instagram and TikTok that will come quite soon. Plus, we have our weekly newsletter with new insights and something that I'm sure that you will love. So don't forget to subscribe also to this kind of channels. Guys, thank you for following me, and I will see you soon. Guys, bye.